Hi, I'm Evie Kim-Sing, editor of IdentityWeek.net. We're here on day one of Identity Week Europe. I'm joined now by Mark Hanhart, who's detecting financial crime design expert from ABN AMRO Bank.
Yep.
It's lovely to speak to you today. We heard
Nice to be here.
Keynote earlier,
Yeah.
which is really fascinating, and hopefully we can delve more into that during this discussion.
Yeah.
So how does eIDAS, why is it important for B2B, cross-border, and trust in banks?
Well, the issue is that naturally the governments and everyone involved in eIDAS have been focusing on the citizen. So everything is around the communication from the citizen to the government, from the citizen to banks, citizen to other relying parties. But working for a bank, and especially working in the business-to-business realm, we feel that it's going to be far more important for business-to-business. And yes, the technology and the platform is great that it's going to be there, but it will thrive, I think, if you start to use it for business-to-business. Which is why in the Netherlands we've started to have a company passport. Anyone can look it up on the internet. And company passport is all about how business-to-business can be made more efficient. All of the administration costs are gone because you can exchange information machine to machine. And you know for certain who you're dealing with. So you know that the other business, who it is, it's digitally appropriate, it's connected, and you have, it's unrefutable that you had an exchange with them, and you know for certain it's legally binding what you described. So rather than giving a phone call or sending an email, you all of a sudden have legally binding communication with this other business. And you mentioned cross-border. Well, eIDAS is cross-border. The Netherlands is an international trading company. If we would do something only for the Netherlands, we wouldn't have a good business. We want to do it in Europe. And actually, we want to do it globally. So for us, it's very important that this platform is global, is cross-border, and it will facilitate the way that we do business with our clients as a bank. But more importantly, it will do what the businesses do with other businesses. And we believe that's where the true prize of eIDAS lies.
And you mentioned there's different privacy considerations with...
Sorry?
You mentioned there's different kind of privacy factors
Yeah.
with private sector versus customers. How important are those open standards and interoperability?
Well, interoperability is the name of the game. So if we would, for instance, we're a Dutch public-private partnership at the moment. So if we would adopt something that's a very local way of doing business in the Netherlands, and we would introduce that in this new platform, we could only do that in interaction between two Dutch companies. We really want to have it as an open standard and therefore global, and Europe is not enough. You actually need to be able to exchange information with the US, with the Asia, etc. So that's where the global interoperability is necessary. And I'd like to make one other point as well. eIDAS is providing us with the containers, the trains that go from one area to the other. What Company Passport is interested in is what is in the trains. So can I make sure that when the train arrives at the bank or at another company, that we know what's in the wagons and that we can take that information and put it into our back office systems. Because then you're communicating from machine to machine. The train has arrived, now I need to get the information into my back office system.
Perfect. I'm going to move on to sort of general bank-owned wallets.
Yep.
Will they share more KYC records about customers? How will this be balanced with customers having kind of decentralized identity?
Well, actually, what I think will happen, and that's the whole premise behind Company Passport, is the company will hold their own KYC in their own wallet. So it's not about banks sharing amongst ourselves, having a KYC utility or ABN AMRO giving the KYC to ING. It's about the company holding their own AMLR, it's a new European regulation, AML regulation, what they need to have in their KYC. The company needs to put that into their own wallet. They give it, for instance, to ABN AMRO Bank, and we will validate that that is true. With that, the company will have that in their own wallet. If they then go to an accountant, or they go to a notary, or they go to a lawyer, they will have AML standard KYC in their own wallets, which they can share with whoever they want. And if they want to have it validated by the bank that the way it's in the wallet is standard enough for, but it's not really necessary, but we could give that extra seal of approval.
How has the bank evolved in terms of your modern authentication methods? How do users interact with the onboarding process?
So at the moment, unfortunately, what happens is a company will come to the bank and they will access our internet systems in which they can be onboarded, and we will ask them to give us proof that we can collect. Some of it we can already collect from registers. So we have pipes to the various registers, but a lot of the information is not in a register. And so there we really rely on the company giving it to us, either by entering it into our website, or by sending it by email. Even that still happens. And this is where the eIDAS wallet will be so much easier, because they will have the information that we already need. It's been specified. It will be a list of things that we need, and it will be in their wallets. So, and what we now do is take those emails and manually retype it into our back office system. I mean, that's going to make it far more efficient if we can have machine-to-machine interaction on the information.
So you're really geared towards that kind of B2B side,
yep.
Which is great. It's refreshing to hear. How are the eIDAS set out the need for robust data governance?
Sorry, I have difficulty. There's a very lively conference
here. It is. You can hear it in the
great.
background.
Yes, absolutely.
But will the eIDAS regulation really set out everything for B2B banks focusing on this? Data governance, all these considerations. Is the current, 2.0, which has recently been passed, really aligned with where you are as a bank at the moment? So
what eIDAS does is it gives us the platform. It gives us the legal certainty of what happens on the platform. So those are two very essential things. So they organize the trains to roll, and they organize the legal certainty of what's in the train is indeed, we can be 100% sure that the information is correct, at least according to the source. That's fine, but those are the sources that we find are approvable. And so eIDAS is essential, but it's how we use it will be the determining factor. And that's where the taxonomy, so the definition of what information we're changing, the taxonomy, and how you connect those trains to our back office system. That's where the business case lies, and you can do that in 10 different ways, but the train will arrive, and you need to get the information into our back office system. So taxonomy, making sure that we have a correct definition of what information is needed, and then you need to take it out of the wagon and put it into your back office system. That can be 10 different ways.
It's brilliant to hear this from you. Definitely, in particular, the B2B side, which a lot of banks I talk to, it's B2C a lot of the time, the conversations. I hope you enjoy the rest of the conference.
I will. It's very engaging and very loud at the moment, but that's what you want, a vibrant conference.
Definitely.
Thank you.